During the last conference that I've attended, it was reported that we have 0 active guerrilla fronts already. Only 4 weekend guerrilla fronts. So the last time I checked, recently, of the 4 remaining weekend guerrilla fronts, 3 are about to be declared for dismantling already. It is already at the national level for validation. So leaving it only 1 guerrilla front. So as to your question on ending insurgency, no, yun. What we are talking about here is the guerrilla fronts that are being dismantled, yun yung 0. To me, to the National Task Force LCAC, we believe that lasting peace is the price of eternal vigilance. Hence, we have to be always be vigilant and not to be complacent kahit na 0 active guerrilla fronts na yung kinukumpronta natin. So that is why we reviewed our campaign for the past 5 years and we've been very, very successful. Just imagine, from 89 active guerrilla fronts when the NTF-ELCAC was established in December 4 of 2018. So right now, after 6 years, there is 0 active guerrilla front and only, in effect, 1 weekend guerrilla front remaining. So based on our assessment from our previous campaign, we came up with a new National Action Plan for Unity, Peace, and Development. So instead of, there will be a recalibration of the way we conduct things and implement our programs, activities, and the projects. So when during the past 5 years, it was heavier on security matters, we would be shifting now our focus more on peace building and socio-economic development. So that is the shift that we are going to experience in the coming days. But it doesn't mean really that, if we really want to enjoy lasting peace, we cannot afford to be complacent. So meaning the mechanism of whole of government approach, whole of nation participation, founded on good governance, utilizing or employing the 12 lines of efforts or national clusters of the NTF-ELCAC would still remain. So yun lang, yun yung ating gagawin in the coming days. And we are happy to inform you that this National Action Plan for Unity, Peace, and Development was already approved by the President during the 6th Executive Committee meeting last November 8 in Malacanang in the presence of the Cabinet Secretary, members of the Executive Committee of the NTF-ELCAC. So after that approval, almost a month ago, we came up with this document which I showed you earlier, which will serve as our guide as we move forward in attaining lasting peace and sustainable development. Thank you.
Sir, just a quick follow-up, sir. Sir, ilan yung member?
During the press conference last November 8, it was reported by the Chief of Staff that there are 1,111. I remembered it vividly kasi 1111 eh. And a little lower than that yung number of firearms nila. So when it started back in 2018, I don't have the figure I only have the number of guerrilla fronts. 89 active guerrilla fronts.
Thank you. Respond?
Yes. Actually, ayaw kaming tigilan. No? In fact, I was named one of the respondents. Again. Buti pa si Idir. Yung organization. Yung akin, ako mismo. No? And kasama ko sila Colonel De La Cruz of the 7th Infantry Battalion. So, when I was looking at the news reports yesterday, the cases that were filed against me, violation of RA 10353, involuntary disappearance, RA 9745, anti-torture, RA 74388, Rights of Persons Accused Act, violations of Article 124, 286 of the Revised Penal Code, arbitrary detention and grave coercion, administrative charges for grave misconduct, grave abuse of authority, oppression, conduct. Lahat na yata ng kaso, final na sa akin. No? at yung mga kasamahan namin dito sa Jed and Junila case. So, how do we see this case? Number one, it is a clear act of desperation on the part of the left. Bakit? Kung alam naman to ng lahat. The Court of Appeals, they went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court directed the Court of Appeals to conduct hearings. Kami po ni Idir, kami ni Joel, we were there. We were witnesses in a series of hearings conducted by the Court of Appeals. It was a full-blown trial. And what was the result of that Court of Appeals trial? No? The Court of Appeals resolved that the petitioners, in this case Jed and Junila, have not sufficiently proven by substantial evidence their entitlement to the privilege of the writ of amparo and habeas data. No? And sinasabi nila, the Court of Appeals also clearly stated that the petitioners failed to establish the existence of an imminent or continuing threat. The Court of Appeals also said that there is no evidence of state participation. The petitioners failed to prove that the respondents were responsible for their abduction. Lieutenant Colonel De La Cruz and Police Captain Buko can only be concluded that they have been impleaded by virtue of the doctrine of command responsibility within the context of an amparo proceeding. As to the writ of habeas data, the decision of the Court of Appeals was very clear. Petitioners have not demonstrated their entitlement to the right of informational privacy over a specific piece of information. So ang liwanag po ng decision ng Court of Appeals. And then, they filed a motion for reconsideration. Ayaw talagang tumigil. And in the MR, again, the Court of Appeals dismissed by a vote of 5-0. Wala po ni isang justice ang sumunod sa kanila. No? The Court of Appeals again said that the evidence to prove petitioners' entitlement to the privilege of amparo is speculative. Absent proof of privacy interest in this case, petitioners cannot be said to have adduced substantial evidence in support of their petition. So, very clearly, the court said that the petitioners' heavy reliance on personal testimonies without corroborative evidence, let me again emphasize, the Court of Appeals said that there is no corroborative evidence and their failure to describe the subject information with reasonable accuracy. The court is without basis to ascertain whether they are entitled to invoke their right to privacy insofar as the information is concerned. So, ano po ang, bakit na naman nagpunta sila sa ombudsman? Because this is an act of desperation on their part. No? Number two, this is also forum shopping. Pumunta sila sa korte, they went to the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, di ba? Hindi sila nakakuha doon. They now are looking for any venue to pin down and again pillory the National Task Force LCAC. Of course, the third reason why they have filed this case is to harass the NTF-LCAC, the individuals that are listed as respondents, no? It's an harassment. For what? To intimidate? To ano pa kaya, sir? No? To intimidate, to threaten, no? Para tumahimik na kami. For us to back off whatever we're doing. And I think the other thing that is a reason why they filed these cases is for media mileage. No? They have candidates running for senator. They have candidates running for party list in the next election. And the filing of cases gives them the venue to capture extensive media mileage for them to portray themselves as the vendor of alleged environmentalists na hindi naman. So, I am of course disappointed, but with the help of our lawyers from the Legal Cooperation Cluster and the Office of the Solicitor General, we are going to face these charges squarely. No, we will face these charges squarely, and I have no doubt whatsoever that these harassment cases will be dismissed by the Office of the Ombudsman. So, ang pakiusap ko na lang po sa ating mga kababayan, ipagdasal na lang kami. Kasi evidently, given the very clear decision of the Court of Appeals, two decisions of the Court of Appeals, this is an harassment case, no, against the NTF-ELCAC by the same group, NUPL, Karapatan, all of the leftist groups that have banded together to pillory and put into doubt the credibility of the National Task Force ELCAC. But I am confident that the truth will come out, and just like what happened in the Court of Appeals, we will be vindicated at the end. Salamat po.
Right, thank you very much. Yes, Director.
Director Egco, may I just be given this opportunity to say something, because I really need to go to the AFCOC already, because the program is about to start at 2 o'clock and some of our guests are already arriving. In fact, some of them were there already before I came here. Now, let me just say, in connection to what was stated by ADG Malaya a while ago, our chairperson for the Stratcom cluster, the NTF-ELCAC is the worst nightmare of the CPP, NPA, NDF. That is why, as you have mentioned, at every opportunity, they would like to have it abolished. But I would like to inform the public, we were assured by no less than the chairman, His Excellency President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., that it will stay because it provides the genuine service to the Filipino people, particularly those who are most vulnerable to the deception of the CPP, NPA, NDF. For 6 years now, it was able to bring in the needed infrastructure in geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. It was able to provide facilities for the education of these barangays. And likewise, it was able to provide the needed opportunity for our kababayans, our fellow Filipinos in far-flung areas, no, that were for so many decades somehow medyo na-neglect po sila. So it will continue on. We have now our roadmap focused on peace building and socio-economic development until we reach the objective of really empowering the people to be more resilient against the threat of terrorist group and other threat groups, but particularly the CPP, NPA, NDF. So we will now celebrate the successes, the achievements, and the partnerships that we had for the past 6 years later on at AFCOC. And with the permission of the attendees to this press conference, may I be excused and proceed to the next part of our program this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yusek Torres.
In that particular undertaking.
Yes, thank you, Chino. Ang ganda talaga ng mga tanong ni Chino. Ilang araw na yan, ha? Thank you for asking that question because I've wanted to address that question a long time ago. The Makabayan Bloc released a statement a few days ago that kami daw sa NTF-ELCAC considered the impeachment of Sara Duterte as a destabilization. We never said that the impeachment is destabilization. What we said was that the violent action by the left in Mindiola last Bonifacio Day is an attempt to manufacture a political crisis and create violence in the streets. Ang posisyon lang po ng NTF-ELCAC napakalinaw. We agree with the President. We agree that the Makabayan's impeachment of VP Sara is a distraction from the more urgent issues facing the country. The President is correct. It will tie down the Senate. It will tie down the House. And the President is just concerned with addressing the needs of the Filipino people. Now, Makabayan's call for impeachment, nagpa-file sila ng impeachment left and right. Why are they doing that? Again, very clearly, it is political opportunism. Political opportunism and political mileage. And I also have a feeling that these cases that are being filed against us, no, is an attempt for us to stop criticizing them. No, but it's the role of the NTF-ELCAC as the organization that wishes to end local communist armed conflict in the country to expose this kind of modus operandi to the public. No? The concern of NTF-ELCAC, and in particular the National Security Council, is political stability, economic development, and national security. So any attempt by anyone to create violence, nakita natin sa Bonifacio Day, nanggugulo sila doon, is something that alarms us. Now, the Kamakayan Bloc, in criticizing the NTF-ELCAC, also said, buti na naalala ko, si Chino, talagang naano ko pag tinatanong mo ako. The Makabayan Bloc also said that the statements coming from NTF-ELCAC daw is an attack on the independence of Congress. Because Congress, supposedly, there is separation of powers between the executive, legislative, and the judiciary. And by criticizing their call, we are daw attacking the independence of Congress. May I remind them, because I am also a professor of political science, besides the independence, there's also the concept of checks and balances. They may be co-equal branches of government, pero may checks and balances. Nagbabantayan po yung tatlong yan. That's why pag may bill na i-final ng congressman, pinapatawag ang mga secretary, mga undersecretary sa Kongreso para magtanong kung kayo ba ay sang-ayon sa bill na to. Congress cannot work on its own. Kaya pag merong bill na pumasa between the Senate and the House, it's sent to the President for signature. Why? Because there's this system of checks and balances. Nagbabantayan po sila. The budget of the executive branch is submitted to the legislative for approval. The bills made by Congress are submitted to the executive for approval. Ganun po yan. So, when we expressed support for the President, we were not saying that they are part of the stabilization. We were not saying that as they portray, no, as they portray that this is an attack on the independence of Congress. We are merely expressing our opinion because of the concept of checks and balances. That is why we have this system of government. Baka nakakalimutan lang ng makabayan that they may be co-equal, but they check each other. Kaya po kami nagsalita, kaya naglabas ng statement ng NTF-ELCAC, why we call the impeachment plan against VP Sara as political opportunism and as an attempt to create political mileage ahead of the 2025 elections.
Thank you, ADG Malaya. Chino?
Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. As mentioned, and may I quote the statement of our Chief of Staff, General Romeo S. Browner Jr. And I quote, "As we look back on the past 6 years, we must also recognize the challenges that lie ahead. The resilience of the CPP, NPA, NDF continues to pose a threat to national security as they persist in recruiting, exploiting vulnerable sectors, and maintaining strong international connections for political support and financing. To uphold the peace and development gains we have achieved, it is crucial to address these issues with vigilance and reinforce our whole-of-nation approach. My message to our soldiers, to our brave soldiers, men and women in the military profession, your unwavering dedication and sacrifice have been instrumental in weakening the capabilities of the CPP, NPA, and NDF. Your commitment to protecting our nation and ensuring the safety of our people has brought us to the brink of a new era of peace. As we continue to face challenges, let us remain vigilant and resolute in our mission to safeguard our nation's security and uphold the rule of law. To the Filipino people, your trust, support, and cooperation have been vital in our collective efforts to end the insurgency. The transition from conflict to development is a testament to our shared vision of a peaceful and prosperous Philippines. Together, we have demonstrated that unity and collective actions are key to overcoming adversity and building a brighter future for all. As we move forward, let us continue to work together to sustain the gains we have achieved. Let us remain steadfast in our commitment to unity, development, and lasting peace. Thank you for your dedication, support, and unwavering commitment to our nation's future. Together, we will build a better, more peaceful Philippines. Mabuhay ang sandatang lakas ng Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang sambayanang Pilipino. End of quote. Thank you very much.
Sabi kanina, okay na yan. So maraming salamat po. Thank you for always supporting NTFL Cup for the past 6 years, especially to the Defense Press Corps. Thank you so much.